What's up, you beautiful people of the internet? Today we're yet again back in Warframe so I can show you what syndicates are, basically how you use them, because trust me, they're confusing. Alright, so as you can see here, we have the 6 syndicates. I'll get a little bit more into those when we actually come around to showing what their opposed and their enemies are and whatnot. But first off, I'm going to show you how you actually get to them. First, load up your star map and go to Mercury. Once you've loaded up Mercury, go to the relay. Alright, so I loaded up my map here so you can actually see where I'm going. This is where all 6 syndicates are actually located. They're on every relay. Alright, so the first syndicate we have here is Arbiters of Hexus. The room really gives off a Star Wars vibe for me. The second guys we got over here is Cephalon Suda. He kind of wants my guts, he hates me. Third, we have the Steel Meridian. These are your classic rebel against the man type of guys. Fourth, we have the Red Veil. I like to think of them as Nazi ninjas, but that's just me. Fifth, we have the Purian Sequence, basically space capitalism. And sixth, the New Loka, basically space hippies. All the syndicates are basically allied, opposed, or an enemy of one another. And the only reason that matters is because of reputation. The New Loka here, for example, are allied with the Purian Sequence, but they're opposed to the Steel Meridian and Cephalon Suda. All that means is if you help the New Loka, you're going to gain reputation with them, but you're also going to gain reputation with the Purian Sequence, but you're going to lose reputation with the Steel Meridian and Cephalon Suda. The reason losing reputation is bad is because when you lose reputation, it no longer allows you to rank up within the specific syndicates, which means you can't buy mods or specific items from that syndicate. You probably already noticed it on screen, but the amount of reputation you lose for every syndicate matters on whether they're opposed or an enemy of that syndicate. You only lose 50% amount of the reputation that you would have gained if they're opposed, but 100% if it's an enemy. Basically what I'm doing now is I'm going to show you every syndicate and who they're allied and opposed to. That way you can get a little bit of an understanding of who you want to go with and who they're allied with in the beginning. Reputation is used as both money and EXP within syndicates. You can use it to either rank up or buy mods within the syndicate. Every syndicate requires a certain amount of reputation and a specific item to rank up to the next rank. The reason you'll want to rank up to the new ranks in the syndicates is because you get better and cooler items every time you rank up. I leave a link on every one of these slides at the end of them so you can go and look what you need for that specific syndicate for that next rank. But I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. You're probably wondering how you gain reputation to begin with. Well, the only way to gain reputation with a specific syndicate is to wear their sigil. And basically the only way to get their sigil is you need to go up to them in the relay or go over to that little computer over there and start their syndicate, which you got to give them like I think it's 30,000 credits, and they'll give you a sigil. Once you get their sigil, you can wear it on missions and you can get a certain amount of reputation a day just by playing with their sigil. You can also go on specific missions for that syndicate, but we'll get to that in a second. That's basically all you need to know with the reputation in syndicates. Basically, if they're allied with a syndicate, you'll gain reputation with them, but if they're opposed to another syndicate, you're going to lose reputation with them. Alright, back to what I was saying about sigils. First thing you'll want to do is go over to your armory, click on appearance, go to Regalia, is that how you say it? And then you have a front and back sigil. The sigils depend on what syndicate you've already joined. Since I've joined the Purian Sequence and New Loka, I have those sigils. By wearing a specific syndicate sigil, you're guaranteed to gain reputation with that syndicate that day, but you're also guaranteed to lose reputation with whoever they're opposed to. There's a specific amount of reputation you can gain every day by just playing missions, but there's other ways of gaining reputation. Another way of gaining reputation with a syndicate is by going on specific missions for that syndicate. But before you do that, you'll want to go into your whatever Warframe you have and put on Thief's Wit. Trust me, it's important.
If I may say,
After that, you'll want to go over to your nav computer and go up to the top right corner where you see the little icon, and if you push on it, you should see all your syndicates there. Push on one of your syndicates that you'll want to join and just load into the mission. After you've loaded into the mission, you'll notice you have 2 escorts from your syndicate that come along with you. I usually tell them to stand down because I'm Loki and I like to run around invisible and kill things. This brings us back to the point of why we brung Thief's Wit with us. Basically what you'll do is you'll see these little icons on your map, and you'll want to run around and destroy every single one that you see because we're going to be looking for a specific thing. For my syndicate, they're called Quantuses, but for something like the New Loka, they'd be called Seeds, or for the Red Veil, they would be called Shards. They're different for everyone, but they all do the same thing. Alright, so I just sped through the mission until I actually found a Quantus. It can take you some time to actually find these things. They're kind of well hidden. That's why you need Thief's Wit. They're so hard to find if you don't have it. It can also help if you have multiple people with you to help you find the Quantuses, but if you're joining randomly online, some people won't actually be wanting to look for the Qantases, and if there's 2 of them, they'll go and they'll leave before you can ever look for them, and it's just totally out of proportion. That's why I don't like doing it. But that's completely up to you guys. I usually like going alone or with a friend who's in the same syndicate as me, but that's completely up to you guys. Another thing that you really do need to know about the seeds or Qantases or whatever they're called for your syndicate is there's usually 3 different types of them. For the period sequence, you have the regular Qantas, the executive Qantas, and the partner Qantas. Not in that order though. And each one of them actually are more rare and are better than the others. So it's actually ranked the Qantas, the partner Qantas, and then the executive Qantas. The reason rarity matters for these things is because these Qantases or seeds or whatever you're capturing, if you get a rarer one, they're actually worth more. And by worth more, I mean you can actually turn these in at your syndicates and the relays and get reputation off them on top of whatever reputation you're getting for that mission. So you can either speed through all 3 missions that you get in that one day, and you'll not get any of the bonus from the Qantases or seeds, or you can take your time and look for them and get a whole lot more reputation that day.
Mission complete. Excellent work,
Now you'll notice I got 11,385 reputation with the period sequence for doing this mission. I got half of that, which is 5,693 for the new Loka, because they're allied with them. But if I wasn't already at the max negative reputation for the Arbiters of the Hexus, I would have lost 5,600, and I would have lost 11,000 with the Still Meridian. So it's basically whatever percentage of what you got, you'll lose that amount of reputation with the people that don't like you. Alright, so you'll notice by selling these Qantases that we had gotten in the last mission, you actually gain a substantial amount of reputation with it. But realize that this is not exempt from the rule of allied and all that for the actual Qantases. If you use the Qantases from the period sequence, you're also going to gain reputation from the new Loka, but you're also going to lose it with those other syndicates. Alright, now before I get into the mods and things you can buy with reputation, I'm just going to go around the relay and show you who you sell these things to actually in the relays. Alright, this is really important as well. You can get different sigils depending on what rank you are within the syndicates. When you do this, you'll get a plus to the amount of actual reputation you get when you go on the missions for them. So since I have the last rank with the period sequence, I have their last sigil, I get plus 15% whatever the mission was going to give me to begin with. So since I was going to get 9,000 for that last mission, I actually got 11,000. Alright, so now I'm going to show you all the things that I'm barred from having such a negative reputation with Cephalon Suda. These things are not impossible to get. You can actually rank yourself back up with them. It's just really hard to do once you're in such a low rank. Alright, now that I've taught you what the syndicates are, how you rank up with them, who they're allied, opposed, and all that, I'm going to tell you why you would do all this. Basically, syndicates have mods and weapons which you can't get anywhere else. The weapons you can't get unless you've actually ranked up completely in one of the syndicates, whilst the mods, somebody can trade to you if they're already max rank and have purchased it. The weapons in the syndicates are very, very good. Now, don't let me over-exaggerate you, some weapons are just natively bad, but these natively bad weapons have better versions of them within the syndicates. And the syndicate weapons have things called procs. These procs allow for a short-range damage around enemies, and every one of the syndicates have different types of procs. Like, I'm pretty sure the period sequence has a radiation proc. I'm not sure on that. Check the wiki on me. But that would be the reason why you would get the syndicates. That's why you would work all this time to do this. Now, the weapons and stuff are really, really expensive with reputation, and you can't get them as soon as you get the last rank with it. So this is all up to you guys, and I'm just going to let you look at all the weapons that we have here. So you guys can choose whatever syndicate you want to join and just work towards it. It's all up to you guys. I hope this helped. I'm just going to leave it off and let you guys look at all the different beautiful weapons.